So, the name of your book, sir, what we're doing today, and so on.
Broken and Shared, Food and Dignity, and the Poor of Skid Row. And so it's basically an anthology of essays from the Catholic Agitator that I've written over a 40-year period. So I'm just delighted that they have gotten the kind of exposure and a kind of authority of being composed into, let me have a book here, composed into a book called Broken and Shared. And so, you know, you write for all your life for a little tiny underground newspaper, and it's just very, very, very heartening that people in the literary world would take this seriously. So it means a lot to me, and I'm just delighted. It is, I've gotten really good reviews and good feedback on it, and it's just a great way of keeping the legacy of the Catholic worker alive, keeping the legacy of the Hippie Kitchen alive. That what we do is pretty ephemeral in many, many ways. It's not institutionalized. It could probably die when we die. But what's really important is that the words live on, and that perhaps people in future generations would be inspired by it. That would be the hope, that you write, actually, you always write for people who are not alive today. You write for people who are born in later generations, and you hope that it might spark the imagination of later generations, because sometimes people who are prophetic are not accepted in their own generation, but later generations thrilled to hear that prophetic voice that was alive, and they didn't know it was alive, and it inspires them. So that's the hope, that future generations might be inspired. Now, and I don't even know, maybe just one person might be inspired.
You know, let's go back a little. 40 years of writing. What have you done for 40 years that people may not be aware? What has been your life?
Right. So we've lived here at the Catholic Worker, and we live in community. We're part of the Catholic Worker movement, founded in 1933 by Dorothy and Peter Morin, to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. And part of the work of the Catholic Worker is threefold. One is we operate a free soup kitchen and a hospitality house, which is where you are today. So formerly homeless people live with us. We're a community of 12 people who operate the free soup kitchen. We get room and board and $15 a week. And
wait, $15 a week?
Right.
After 40 years?
Right.
Okay.
Now, you know, well, I've gotten 3 raises. I started out at $3 a week. So
okay.
The second part is that we do prophetic work. That is, we do the work of the prophets. We speak truth to power. We protest the war. We protest injustice on Skid Row. We distribute free shopping carts. We sometimes go to jail because we violate the law in the interests of justice and peace. So that's the prophetic part. And then there's the evangelical part. We don't preach to people, but we do print the Catholic Agitator. And what we print in the Catholic Agitator is the kind of stuff that most people really don't want to hear. It's really about how the world actually operates and what the power system is about and how people are kept poor by this system. So you don't get a lot of avenues for publication for this kind of information, but that is the basic prophetic message. That's the message of the prophets of the Old Testament, and it's the message of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was one of the prophets. When the Apostle Peter asked Jesus Christ, "Who do people think I am?" Peter says, "Well, some people think you're just one of the prophets." Well, that's what he was. He was one of the prophets. He he is totally in the line of the prophets. Everything that he said and did is a recapitulation of the prophets of the Old Testament. Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about Dorothy Day.
She was long and lean and lanky.
And she was very talented and knew it, and very beautiful and knew it. And I never got the sense that she was ashamed of any of her gifts.
Dorothy's work arose from the fact that she sacrificed the love of her life. If she embraced the Catholic faith, he'd have nothing more to do with her.
Dorothy Day had a radical analysis of the economics of society and what ought to be done about it.
She was used to working to change the world, to make a difference.
There was no separation between life of prayer and the ordinary activities of everyday life. And so there was a spiritual, contemplative dimension to all those things.
Her general philosophy on how the Catholic worker spreads.
Right.
I mean, I think that was so beautiful.
Right. I think the genius of Dorothy Day is that she was a personalist and an anarchist. She deliberately did not set up a situation in which the organization that she founded in New York City would be the corporate executive of some larger poverty organization. She understood that what we do is not an organization, but we're an organism. That what we do is part of being organic, that we are touched by the word, and the people are touched by the example and independently start something themselves. And then Dorothy would foster that kind of little bit of a flame. And so that's what she did. So she made what some people would consider a...
I think some want fine.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we can stop for that for sure.
Thank you, Jeff.
My pleasure.
I'll edit it, no problem. Yeah, we definitely stop, because this must be a big thrill signing books, huh?
It's my favorite activity.
I mean, really?
Nonviolence makes the world safe for conflict. You can have conflict, but you don't go to the point of killing. And that was what Dorothy taught.